Welcome to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
Always a pleasure to host with you.
It is, James, to be with you. We have some great sponsors.
Yeah, Lee, Castle, and Crawley.
Yes, and then we have the Fervent Care Christian Academy.
And Stewart Mortuary.
And we're grateful for our sponsors to help us keep us on the air, on Channel 40. But today we're going to do it Philly style.
Yes, sir. We've got a wonderful young man with us today.
All the way from Cleveland.
All the way from Cleveland.
To be on this show.
To be on this show. And he's done a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He has his own company, production company. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Mm-hmm. But he's done some incredible things. He's an ex-football player, arena football, professional football in the NFL a little bit. Has done some tremendous things. And it's always good to find people like that.
Yeah, we need to be very, very cautious of the fact that when you see him, he's not James Harden. I just want everybody to know that. He's not James Harden. I mean, he's not the beard, but he's pretty close to it.
Yeah. So he's got some exciting things going on. He's written a couple of books. Playwright, doing some incredible things. So you definitely want to stay with us right here on WHMB TV 40. Also, want to encourage you to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Like us on Facebook.
Yes, and remember, if you get with us on Facebook, you'll get the information you need about Real People, Real Voices.
Yeah, and on our YouTube channel, you can watch this show over again, share it with your friends on your social media networks. You can also go back and watch shows that you might have missed. A lot of great stuff.
Yeah, and you know what? This is phenomenal to be able to come to the community in this way and be received. Everywhere I go, somebody always tells me, I saw you on TV.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel good to let me know that we're reaching the community in a way to where we're giving information to help them in certain areas.
Absolutely. So stay with us. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm James Jackson, your host.
Pastor Wayne Moore. We're here.
We're here, and you're here, and we also have Philly Wheaton.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it. So for our listening audience, we've talked a little bit about you in the opening, but if you would, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a twin brother, and my first passion growing up was sports, football, and, you know, growing up in the time that I grew up, sports was the way out. You know, now it's more music and entertainment, but then was sports. So I definitely used that to my advantage in playing sports. Football was my love, and I believe that football was my calling, you know, and things happened, and now I'm playwright.
Yeah, and you say football was a way out with regard to living in a community where there's a lot of things going on with regard to crime and drugs and all that sort of thing.
Well, around the corner.
Okay.
It was around the corner. I grew up in a fairly great neighborhood.
Okay.
But when I say sports, it's just that something, you know, I gravitated to because that was the in thing, you know.
Okay.
Me and my brother would be in the backyard playing football, and kids from the neighborhood would come over and play because we were known as the kids on the corner in the fence, because we could never be outside of the fence.
Oh, you were on lockdown
Back
most
on
of your
those
life.
days.
Yes.
Yeah, Mama had me on lockdown too, so you don't feel bad about it.
And speaking of relationships, your first book, Relationship Breakdown, Philly Way, or Philly Style.
Yes.
So talk to us about the inspiration for that book.
That book was written when I was in Iraq. What happened was Facebook had just started for me. I just started doing an account on Facebook, and I started writing about the relationship that I was in because I just recently gotten out of a divorce. So, you know, in the beginning, they call it the honeymoon phase, you know, where everything is just perfect. You know, you don't want nothing to go wrong because just, you know, you hear Luther Vandross singing, you see roses, you and this big old field run into each other, you know, and that's how it was for me. And I was just making statuses based upon my new relationship. You know, how to treat a woman, you know, the things that they would like, the things that we shouldn't do, things like that. And people would comment saying, hey, you should write a book, write a book, write a book. And, you know, again, growing up, books really wasn't the thing, you know, as far as reading, you know. And so I said I'd never written a book. And then I was encouraged one time. I got an inbox from a company, Epic Books, and they said, you know, you're getting a lot of encouragement to write a book. Whenever you decide to do this, we'll publish it for you for free. So that was my niche in the back to say, go ahead and write it. And it's easy to write about yourself and your own experiences. So that's what I did.
And then from the book came the playwright.
Correct. Okay. And what happened then was a classmate of mine, a high school classmate of mine, inboxed me again on Facebook and said, hey, you need to take advantage of the buzz that you have from this book. Because once the book was released, it pre-sold 1,150 copies. So, you know, she said, hey, I had a dream that you wrote a play off of this book. She said, I don't know why, but you need to take advantage of it. And I was like, I've never written a stage play. And she said, you've never written a book either. So, and ever since 2012.
You've been rolling.
I've been.
Yeah. That's quite a transition from professional sports to the area of writing books and plays.
It is.
So how were you able to make that adjustment?
I use my life experiences for that. You know, again, it's easy to talk about the things you've been through. And as I did that, I realized that I wasn't only helping others, I was helping myself heal.
Great. Football player?
Correct.
Football player, pro football player. Tell us about your football experiences as it relates to those levels.
Growing up playing football was just something fun to do. You know, it's not until you are able to receive benefits from it is when it becomes a job. You know, so then the love really isn't there as much because now there's bills and, you know, you get money. You know, it's not about the love that you have anymore because now it's a job.
Not having fun anymore.
Right, not having fun anymore. What happened was when I was married, I was working at Ballytola Fitness and I wasn't playing football for a while. And we received in the newspaper talking about Arena Sports is coming to Cleveland, Ohio, and the combine is this date. You know, it gave us a year out, and my wife came to me and said, "Hey, you need to play football." You know, and I was like, "I haven't played football in a long, long time." She's like, "Well, this is the opportunity." And so I was like, "Okay, well, I need to get a trainer. You know, I need to get a trainer and get back on this." And thank God that the first day the combine, I got signed.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
3 years in arena football. You went to the NFL.
Correct.
Before you tell us about that, who beat you on the corner? We're corner. So who beat you? Who literally beat you? And you know you were beat.
It's a couple guys. Do we
know
trouble.
them?
No. I wasn't really able to be against them in the camp. I really had trouble with the guys that were smaller than me because I'm more of a physical corner. You know, I like to put my hands on you.
Yeah.
So the taller guys, I welcomed it. You know, I welcomed 6 foot and taller, 6'6", 6'5", because I know I can get you.
And taking down trees.
Yeah, I love it. So when I get somebody who's up who's 5'6",
it's a problem.
It's a problem. Yeah. It's a problem because they don't want to be touched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the Playhouse Square and the rejection or the decline. And, was that a motivation? Did it stall you?
Yeah, it definitely discouraged me for a little bit. When I sat down to write the stage play, you know, again, I dream big. You know, I say, hey, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. You know, and at the time, I didn't really know about the business of it, so I didn't know about the colleges and the local theaters. I just knew about the Playhouse Square. So when I did it, I said, okay, I'm gonna do it at the Playhouse Square. My cast gonna be this, you know, had it all down to a T. I called the Playhouse Square. Of course, you know, you don't get them right away. So I kept calling, call. Then they called me back and said, hey, you know, you left a message. And I said, yes, I'm interested in renting the Playhouse Square for, you know, my stage play. They said, okay, have you ever did a stage play before? I said, no. They said, have you ever acted before? I said, no. They said, and this is your first time doing it? I said, yes. They said, so why the Playhouse Square? I said, why not? They said, okay. Well, we're going to encourage you to try, you know, the colleges and the other arenas. That's
the figures.
Yes.
The figures.
Yes.
The hidden figures.
The hidden figures. We're going to encourage you to do that, you know, because the Playhouse Square, you know, is something that you shouldn't be interested in right now. You know, so as we hung the phone up, I was like, wow. I was told no. And so, of course, I was discouraged because, again, I didn't know the business. I didn't know the other venues, So I called around, and colleges was like, yes, yes, yes. And that's what I was doing for years.
College circuit.
College circuit, yes.
Yeah. And you also casted Terrell Hicks.
Yes.
Tell us about that
Yeah.
experience.
Well, what happened was I figured that it was time for me to book a national talent, and I was watching a Tyler Perry stage play on Bam's place, and I was like, who is this woman? Not only acting, but singing. And so, of course, I didn't recognize her face or anything like that, so I waited till the credits rolled up and got her name, went to Google, typed her in, and I was like, oh. Then I got discouraged again because it was like, money.
Yeah. So let's put a
hidden
pin.
figures.
Let's put a pin right there.
Yeah.
We've got to go to break real quick. We're here with a very, very talented
Young man.
young man here that's doing some tremendous things.
The Philly way.
The Philly way.
Yes, sir.
When we come back, we'll talk more about what he's doing and how you can enjoy the work that he's doing. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm James Jackson.
And I'm Pastor Wayne Moore.
And we are here with Mr. Philly Wheaton.
Yes, sir.
Again, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So just before the break, we were talking about your time in casting Terrell Hicks.
Mm-hmm.
So as you began to do that, are you still connected, or what was it like being involved in that process?
We are still connected. She's in my new production now. But casting her was a process to me, because again, I was stepping in unknown territory, doing something you've never done. You are afraid to do it, you're reluctant, I would say, because you start talking about what if, the what if, the what ifs. And so what happened was I went to our social media. I was sitting in church one day, and
You're sitting in church.
Wait a minute now. You got two preachers up there.
So now we know.
Now we know that the sermon was born, and so you texting in
I
church.
didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say
No,
that.
you did
No,
that.
it wasn't during the sermon.
You weren't doing
No.
doing offering.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
I figured I needed that boost of faith,
Yeah.
So I went to her social media and I said, I'm going to send her a message. And
You did?
let it be. Yeah. So I sent her a message, and she replied back in 10 minutes later and was like,
10 minutes?
Yes, here's my email, contact me. And ever since then, it's been peaches and cream.
It happened in a holy place.
It happened in
So
a
that
holy
was
place.
within 10 minutes of sending the message in
Yes.
church.
In
Church
church.
still going,
Yes.
and you got that blessing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I walked away with a
You thought
smile.
that was a sign from God, didn't you?
It had to be. It had to be.
Laugh, Cry, Think Productions.
Yes.
What's that all about?
I figure, in theater, laughing and crying, the face,
Right.
that's the staple of theater. And think, I wanted to use that because the way I'm doing this is that I want people to learn, the different ways to cope with issues, the healing of the heart, and the mind, and things that could tear a person down, because everyone deals with the matters of the heart. Everyone, it's not one person on this earth who has conquered love. Love is an everyday learning experience.
Mm-hmm. So you've toured the play.
Yes.
And what was it like? Of course, touring is expensive. You got sponsors and all that.
No.
No.
No,
Really?
independent, yes.
Independent.
Yes, independent.
And how many people, all of this taking place, going to city?
Yes, last year was my first tour,
Okay.
Soulmate, a true love story.
How many cities?
We did 5.
Okay.
5. And, again, stepping in unknown.
Called Soulmate.
Yes.
Okay.
Stepping in unknown territory, I called it my promo tour, because I wanted to, get my name, my face, my work out there, for people to see what I'm about, and to hear the message, not only in just Cleveland, but in other markets, other cities, other states.
And how successful have you been with that?
Great. I wanted to give up. I wanted to give up. I did Columbus, Ohio, which is 3 hours away from Cleveland, so that's still home. Then I went to Detroit. And Detroit was a very humbling experience for me. Because in Cleveland, I've been spoiled. My very first production and everyone since then in Cleveland has been sold out. So I wasn't used to 60 people in the audience.
Wow.
Yeah. When the curtain opened up and it was 60 people and
And the show
a little bit, half of them was Cleveland.
Wow.
Wow.
It was definitely like, I quit. I can go back home.
This was where now? What's the-
Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit.
Yeah.
So I said,
You wanted to quit.
I wanted to quit.
What kept you going forward?
Conversations, and not only that, it was the song Travis Green, You Made a Way, because I remember I said, Lord, if this is what you want me to do, you really have to come through, because again, this is independent, so every production mattered, every dollar mattered. The next show was after Detroit was Indianapolis, and within 4 days, Indianapolis sold out. So I said,
Strange city, Indianapolis.
this is it.
Yes.
I said, this is it. And then ever since then, Indianapolis sold out. Then I did Cleveland again. Cleveland sold out. And went to Atlanta. Atlanta sold out.
Wow.
So I said,
Atlanta's a good place.
yeah, I said, this is it. This
Yeah.
is it. That was the test.
So what's next?
What's next is I am now about to tour my next production.
How many cities?
Right now, I have 4. Right now, I have 4. I'm doing Indianapolis first, and it's September 9th at Marion University. It's titled, I
Coming
Can't
up.
Make You Love Me.
Right.
I can't
I
make you love me.
noticed, Philly, since we're doing it the Philly way, you write about a lot of love.
Yes, yes.
Are you a love connoisseur?
I am. I'm a hopeless love romantic person.
The man with the beard. Phenomenal.
So September 9th.
Yes, sir.
Where's this going to take place?
Marion University.
Oh, yeah.
Marion
And it's
University.
good to know he's saved. He's a saved man.
Yeah.
Amen.
And that's a good thing. So God has something for you. Just be patient. Let him navigate this situation. And sometimes you're going to have some ups and downs.
Yes.
Yeah, I know how that feels come out and 60 people there
Yeah.
when you're getting ready to
Yeah.
preach.
Yeah, well, that's all right. It humbles us, though.
It does.
humbles, when we get to the point to where we think we demand
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly
a full
what it is.
house,
Yeah, it's like being
God really will show us something differently.
Yeah.
it's like being at a baseball game.
And then some who have the full houses are not humbled by what God has done.
That's true.
So we have to be very conscious of the fact that we all have humble beginnings. And from that, God teaches us the academics to success.
Yeah.
He does.
And that stick-to-itiveness, was that something that helped you that was carried over from football?
Yes, the coachable, the wanting to know, to learn, to do. I definitely use that, all those techniques of drills. I've definitely used that into this world.
That's phenomenal.
Entertainment.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, all the best to all the work
you so
that you're
much.
doing.
Thank you.
How can people access your books?
Everything that I do has my name. It's phillywheaton.com. All social media, internet, website, phillywheaton.com.
God will take you higher if you never forget where you came from.
Amen.
Never forget where you come from. He'll bless you, man.
Amen.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your gift with us.
Thank you for having
me.
me.
We really appreciate it. September the 9th.
Yes, sir.
Marion University.
Yes, sir.
What time?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. West side of Indianapolis, one of the greatest sides of the Indianapolis city.
You have a church over there, don't you?
Yes, somewhere located over there. I do. Yes.
Ticket information?
Yes, phillywheaton.com. Tickets are $30
Okay.
for general admission. I have a stellar cast, and we have a message to bring.
All right. Outstanding. All the best to you and
Thank you so much.
all that you do and Laugh, Cry, Think Productions.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all for being with us on today. We certainly appreciate it. We've got the rundown here in just a few moments. We hope that you'll stay with us. Please remember to go to the WHMB TV social media, YouTube. You
Like
can watch
us on
this show.
Facebook.
And you can like us on Facebook.
Yeah.
You can check out shows that you might have missed. Watch this one over again. A lot of great information.
Yes, man. I tell you, this is phenomenal, man. Great sponsors as well.
Yeah. Lee, Castle, and Crowley, Fervent Care Christian Academy, Stewart Mortuary. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
And I'm Curtis Baker, Marketing Director.
And speaking of marketing, Curtis, this play, and Philly Sweeten, talking about I Can't Make You Love Me. There was a couple of significant things about that.
Well, you know, he actually has some heavy hitters on here. Keith Robinson of Dreamgirls, and also Mark Wilson from Boys to Men. Not to, you know, cast over the rest of the cast, but, you know, those are people, sometimes, you know, people, when you put those names out there, they want to go out and see those particular people.
Our
They've seen on
city
the
is
big
good
screen.
for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
You know, you
good
got to
for
put
that.
those names on there, but again, don't let it be misunderstood that with them, this play is still phenomenal.
Yeah, at the Marion University, beautiful
Yes.
Marion University Theater.
They're experiencing, coming from the college to the university level in the last 4 or 5 years, doing a tremendous job. Great facility over there. And want people to go out and support this young man.
Yeah.
And give him an opportunity to excel in what he's doing.
And tickets are now available at
PhillyWheaton.com.
PhillyWheaton.com. And it sold out last time. So don't delay. In fact, today, go to that website and make sure that you get your ticket. Writing about love. He's been through a lot of issues,
right.
and now he's acting, he's in the play and writing about love.
Yes, his book stemmed from playwrights. And so he's moving with it. We need to be praying for this young man.
Yeah. So we want to thank you all for joining us today. Also, please go to our YouTube channel, WHMB TV 40. You can watch this show over again and other shows that you might have missed. Also, like us on Facebook.
Get on Facebook, check us out, because we're here for you. We want to make sure the community has information that will be positive and instructive and guide us in the right direction here in Indianapolis, Central Indiana.
Love us on Facebook.
Love us.
Just don't like us.
Love us.
Love us.
Love us on
Love
Facebook.
Love us on
Facebook.
Facebook.
All right.
We'll see you next time. Thanks.